Hey there, and welcome back to Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, the game! As you recall, in the last episode, we journeyed through our first G1 Decepticon character in the DLC, the Decepticon leader himself, Megatron, where despite being visually on the dull side, he was still a fun character to mess around with all the same. And now, we are on to the second to last G1 character for the Decepticons, that of course being the sinister second-in-command himself, G1 Starscream. This, without a doubt, has to be my personal favorite G1-based character in the entire DLC. At least, visually speaking. Gameplay-wise, though, he's honestly my least favorite. I'll cover both the good and the bad as we survey this unsavory seeker. And here we have G1 Starscream. Again, designed by Ken Christensen, G1 Starscream looks absolutely phenomenal. The robot mode strikes a perfect balance of loyalty to the cartoon, but appears just realistic enough to not appear too out of place with the movie-based cast. Like the past two G1 characters, Starscream was designed to primarily match the original cartoon proportions as much as possible, but also take some creative inspirations from the original Masterpiece figure. As I said, visually, this is hands down my favorite of the G1 characters. I think he translated over the best, and the alt mode, which we'll get to later, is drop-dead gorgeous. As I also said though, I think he is the weakest character as far as gameplay performance goes, but I'll cover that in depth after finishing the visual analysis. Starting up at the head, the design follows that of the original artwork quite accurately. The general silhouette of Starscream's signature head shape is maintained, but he has some extra facial detailing included to provide him with an extra sense of realism for the character. It also looks a lot better than the facial design Megatron got, so that's another plus for him as well. Proceeding down to the chest, it looks to have been translated over perfectly from concept art. He follows the classic Starscream deco, with red covering his upper side armor, and gray taking up the middle. He's got some nice vent detailing on his abdomen, as well as the danger text indicated in concept art. Rotating round to the rear, his deco and design are again on point with the concept art. He dons the red stripes on the bottom edge of his wings, which strangely aren't using the signature red-white stripe that flow just above the edge of the wings like the rest of the Seekers, so that's interesting. He also includes all the small text decals, the free Decepticon insignias, and the yellow rectangles on the top of the nacelles. The shoulders generally follow all the details and decals as indicated in the artwork, however, they do come off a bit too dark for my liking, and I also noticed that the top red triangle is placed on the outer side instead of the top edge as seen in artwork. Curious, but not a huge change in the grand scheme of things. The arms again follow the artwork incredibly accurately, with the bulk of the armor being primarily blue, with just a small sliver of white on the bottom, though some of the vent detailing on the hands seems to be lacking, and there is no no-step text on the top of the arms. But otherwise, the rest of the decals and details seem to line up quite well. Homing down to the hips, there seem to have been a few slight alterations from the artwork. First off, the front armor comes off as being too bright compared to the rest of the armor, where it really should have been all the same value. There are also free indents on the side sections that are noticeably absent from the final texture, and there are some new darker gray points added between the hips and the cockpit. Wonder what prompted these changes. The rear of the hips, however, is more or less the same as the artwork, with the only difference being that the center armor is again brighter than the rest of the surrounding armor. But otherwise, nothing else too substantial sticks out. The thighs again appear accurate to the artwork, including the small vent and text detailing on the front, the small caution text on the sides. It also features some incredible interior circuitry that can be found on the rear just below the hips. I especially love that dark metal bar above the circuitry itself. Really nice touch. Continuing on to the knees, they proceed to follow the artwork quite accurately. The central knee pad is blue, with the appropriate vent and text detailing on the bottom. The rest of the bottom of the leg appears accurate as well, with both the middle protrusion and the foot both being colored blue. And the rear of the leg has all the signature artwork attributes as well, including the red triangle on the upper exterior, the signature F pattern on the vertical stabilizers, and the appropriate text and vent detailing around the intersections of the armor. The only distinction that really seems to stick out is that his engines come off as interior circuitry in the artwork, instead of the actual engines themselves seen here. So this is a deviation I'm glad they took from the artwork. Well, that was a satisfying survey of G1 Starscream. Let's now switch up and blast over to gameplay.
Now I am the most powerful.
Starting with health, G1 Starscream has a default health value of 380, but can be upgraded to a maximum value of 532, values that match up with what is found on Movie Starscream. It's also worth mentioning that he uses unprocessed versions of Movie Starscream's voice lines, so a nice bonus change there too. Marching on to his movements, G1 Starscream can perform all these standard maneuvers. He can walk, run, jump slam, which again does your typical 60 damage, and of course, he can climb. Blasting over to weapons is where Starscream tends to falter a bit. He wields his iconic dual null rays, mounted atop his arms, and they have some nice bonus blue accents, along with a darker oblong in the middle of the weapon. So a nice update from the typical flat color you see in the cartoon. Anyway, getting onto the actual weapons themselves, the null ray is a fast and fierce weapon that does 22 damage per shot, dealing 5.5 more damage than the standard Starscream weapon. It can be fired 20 times before overheating, but can be upgraded to fire up to 41 times before needing to cool down. For his secondary weapon, Starscream has the dual homing missiles, a much weaker and clumsier version of the original Starscream's missiles, which fire a volley of 6 missiles instead of 3, that deal 20 damage per missile, resulting in a maximum damage of 120, somehow making it 20 points weaker from the movie Starscream's missile launcher, and can be fired up to 5 times by default, but can be upgraded to fire up to 8 times before overheating. And of course, he can dash in all 4 directions. For his special ability, G1 Starscream has the Megatron Blast ability, a slightly nerfed version of the fusion cannon that deals 580 damage instead of the standard 700. I want to freeze him here briefly and showcase just how much detail actually went into this gun model. This thing looks incredible. He is still lacking his signature filigree pattern on the sides, but otherwise the detailing on this model looks absolutely phenomenal. I swear, they really cooked in the details when it came to Megatron's model. Anyway, aside from the color change and damage reduction, it functions exactly the same as the standard Megatron cannon. Moving on to melee, G1 Starscream's damage values mirror that of the movie counterpart. The first hit deals 25 damage, the second hit also deals 25, and the third hit deals 35, resulting in a maximum damage of 85. However, he can be upgraded to deal a maximum damage of 170. Starscream can also perform a charged attack, wielding no distinct weapon like Megatron and Optimus, where he swings a swift forward swipe that deals 70 damage upon contact, but can deal a maximum of 175 when fully upgraded. Well, that's a solid summary on G1 Starscream's robot mode. Let's take flight and soar into vehicle mode. G1 Starscream, transform! And here we have G1 Starscream's vehicle mode. An absolutely remarkable recreation of his classic G1 alt mode based upon the F-15 Eagle, which is a fusion of the MP figure and the actual real-world jet. And I'll say it straight up, this is by far my absolute favorite G1 model in the entirety of the DLC. The model for the F-15 is drop-dead gorgeous, and if I had to pick just a single model I'd want from the entirety of the DLC, this would be it, no question. The deco of the jet is pretty much what you'd expect to see, though there are a few slight deviations compared to what you see on the artwork. Starting up at the front of the jet, we have the nose, which dons a blue tip with the Decepticon insignia just above it, along with several caution decals around the cockpit. And there is no no-step text between the two. The nacelles are primarily red, but in contrast to the concept art, the red does not reach all the way to the body of the jet, and instead only goes about halfway. And going off of what I've seen in robot mode, the deco really should have been made to match what is seen in the artwork. The base body of the jet seems to follow the artwork precisely, featuring all the appropriate red triangle decals and yellow caution decals as indicated in concept art. He's even got all the tiny little pieces of text, even though they are essentially all illegible. The wings are much the same. They strike the signature Decepticon insignias, and like robot mode, have the stripes colored fully red, and placed at the very edge of the wing, compared to the typical white-red stripe that stops just before the edge of the wing. Speeding up here, the vertical stabilizers feature the iconic red-blue F pattern that is clearly inspired from the Masterpiece figure. The engines have a couple slim streaks of blue near the top, along with a couple more yellow caution decals matching with what is seen in the artwork. The horizontal stabilizers feature the same red triangles as seen in the artwork. The underside doesn't have a direct view in artwork, but all the main components seem to be visible from the side view. He has some red lining down at the bottom of the nacelles, past his wing weapons, which follow the artwork deco fairly accurately, but are missing the darker curve along the inside. There is also some spare artwork that use machine gun-based weapons that more so resemble his null rays and robot mode. And finally, there are some blue lines on the bottom fins just below his horizontal stabilizers that directly mirror what is seen in the artwork. So yeah, all in all, Starscream's jet mode is pretty on point with the artwork, and is still absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. Moving on to gameplay, the jet can fly at a maximum speed of 100 miles per hour by default, and with Nitro active can reach up to 145 miles per hour. He can bank. His weapons deal 28 damage per shot, 32 points less than movie Starscream's. Can be fired up to 4 times, but can be upgraded to fire up to 11. He can perform all 4 stunt maneuvers. And as a bonus, he can fire his fusion cannon much faster than he would if he were in robot mode. When it comes to advanced maneuvers, he can perform all the standards. He can hover, having one of the only hover transformations that actually work in the dev build, where he can rain down fire and dodge enemy fire. He can perform the advanced melee attack, which deals 85 damage by default, but can be upgraded to deal a maximum of 170, mirroring the stats of movie Starscream. And he can of course perform an advanced ground pound, that deals the standard 100 damage. And that's a wrap for G1 Starscream. Yeah, his gameplay may put him in a bit of a disadvantage in comparison to some of the others, but he's an absolutely beautiful bot, easily the best looking G1 character in my opinion. Well, now that we've shown him off, it's only fair we take him into action and see just how much damage this sniveling sycophant can do on the battlefield. Let's jet! And what better mission to choose than the Hunt for Breakaway? A mission where you fight against the only flying Autobot. And since Starscream can't typically go here by default, it makes it even better. So, let's see what Screamer can do. Let's mess up some bots. Alright, bots. Come and get it! Ah! Oh, I got him? Okay. Hey! You stalled me! Pounces on you! Rawr! X-free! Ha! Woo! Kill shot! Okay. Where's that sniper? There he is. Let me through. Where are you running to, boy? Nowhere! Alright. Final skill shot. There we go. Who wants to party? Party, party, party. Dodge this. Coming for ya. Wait, you're too bright. I can't see you. There. What? Big bot. Go away. Bot incoming. Oh! Oh! Kicked him out of the arena. Cool. Whoa! What you want? Come and get some. Kill this. Oh! That was epic. Badoom! Fine. No signs. Hello. Autobots, come out and play. Ow, who dare? Dodge that. Come on, get him, get him! Fine, sure. What? You dare snipe me? Oh, he's just about dead. Oh, nice finish. Alright, now for break. Deal with this, punk. Boom. Nice hit. Get him. Get that Autobot. Boom. Come on. Settle down, bot. I ain't done with you, breakaway. Where you running to? Gotcha! Field diffusion. Huh. Oh, combo, sweet. Hey, what you doing? Pound you. Where are you running to? You can't escape me. Ah. Come on, get him. All right, breakaway. Time to go down. Kill ya. Yeah. Oh, yes. Nice finish there. Very nice. Okay, not too bad. I don't think he's gonna win any records or anything, but you know, that was fun. I can't complain. Did some decent damage, got around quickly, can't complain. Alright, Starscream's all wrapped up, let's close this thing off. Well, there you have G1 Starscream. Yeah, he may have taken a bit of an L on the gameplay, but he still stands as the absolute most gorgeous G1 character in the entire DLC. And that jet mode especially is just... oh, I love that thing so much. It's just so gorgeous. Easily my favorite model in the entire DLC. So good. Well, with Screamer done, we have only one character left before our DLC dissection series is complete. And that is, of course, the secondary seeker in the pack, G1 Sunstorm, who is a curious but cool addition to the pack. I really don't know why they didn't go with Skyrope or Thundercracker, but you know what? We'll give him a fair assessment all the same. We'll cover him next time, and then the series will be done. So I will see you next time where we turn up the heat. Till then...
I've battled parking meters with more fight in them.